everyone can find commonalities in these stories.
There is much meaning in stories, meaning which is very impactful.
Storytelling being part of African life, I think this is the best way to bring out what these people can share.
Your story has value and it will impact somebody. So you want to encourage them to speak. People connect through stories.
Okay, so you are welcome, everyone. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you. First of all, Health Child Uganda and MUST, we work with communities to identify their health challenges and work with them to identify those resources that they have so that they can deploy them and address those challenges. And to do that one, we use a number of methodologies to engage communities. And one of them happens to be digital storytelling. The next item on our agenda is introductions.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm called Namanya Sarah.
Continuing student in my third year, pursuing a bachelor's degree in agriculture and livelihood.
Doing Bachelor of Science in Gender and Applied Women Health.
Hi everyone, my name is Makoma Nelson.
I'm doing Bachelor of Science in Gender and Applied Women Health.
Pursuing Bachelor of Science in Planning and Community Development.
My name is Ayabale Julian, doing Bachelors of Science in Planning and Community Development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this time, I will welcome Babla to lead us in the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robbins. Did you say you're called Macklin?
Yes.
Aha. Macklin, do you have a dream?
Yes, of course.
You have a dream? Okay. Letitia, do you also have a dream? Okay. I hope all of us in the room have dreams. And because we all have dreams, there are journeys we go through as we pursue those dreams. Okay? So this morning, we are going to watch a story that is shared by somebody who has a dream.
Oh, Nancy.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
How are you? Morning.
I'm fine.
Yes.
How was the journey?
It was okay.
Okay.
I enjoyed.
Dr. Nema is going to be helping us. Actually, is going to be working with you to do the finding and telling your story. You know your story like how you are telling it to me. It is very long. It spreads through years and months. So she's an expert. She's going to help you trim down that story. At a later stage, I come to help you with crafting, recording, and putting the images, the soundtracks. Then Babla Nagai, she is going to join us, and she will mainly be helping us with sharing your story.
Really eager to work with you today. I head the Department of Gender, issues of culture and current gender relations in families, the position of a lady, girl child, and how we are pushing on for career development. I think we are now good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will leave you to have a girl talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nancy, first briefly tell me your story so that I conceptualize it and see how I can guide you before we start writing it on the paper.
And I had applied for nursing.
And they admitted you.
And they admitted me.
So start from there. How did it go?
So whatever they could tell me in school, I wanted to do
You
it.
were ready for
everything. Because I wanted to become, I had seen that I'm heading to where I wanted to be. If you're really interested, then for me, any relationship I start is the relationship which will take us to marriage. Are you ready for that?
You are the one now suggesting.
Yes, he said yes. Then I said, to be sure that you are saying a yes, which is a yes, you will take me to your home.
They see me.
They see me, they know that you have someone. And two, I be sure that you don't have a wife at home, because I never wanted a man who was married. It was part of me.
You know, in our culture here, it is not so easy for a woman to make those suggestions. First, take me to your home, don't have sex. We are shy. But this, I feel this boldness was a strong point in your life. I want us to pick, which I was capturing here, only sections that were concerning you. You can use any expression that you feel can bring out the real word of how you were feeling.
Yeah, for home I sat 6 months. Then at my aunt.
No, but here you want your feeling, your expression. When you were at home,
I sat home
how were you
6
feeling?
months. Of course, frustrated. Could
I was very frustrated. So when we type this, we are going to re-edit it and get better verbs. But the hardest part was this one, the composition, where we now have a story to share.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can see lunch is being prepared, and we first have lunch, then the typing will come.
Good. I'm happy to join you again.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Have you arranged Bange?
It was in.
I'm okay. Nice seeing you.
How did you feel when you were starting?
Of course, at the beginning, I felt a little bit nervous, but she kept reassuring me, it is my story, I just give it the way I have it. I said, okay.
So it was easy to say it the
Yes,
way
yes,
okay.
That's true.
How was Nema? From your end, how was she as a facilitator?
No.
Feedback.
Sometimes we fear to speak the truth, thinking that it will block us.
But
now
it
in
can
this
be an
case,
opportunity. Where I was encouraged by one influential friend.
Where I was encouraged.
Okay. If you are satisfied, I can say we are done. Let's go to the studio. Then we record the voice.
From a very humble background of 5 siblings, that is 2 girls and 3 boys, I was born a 4th born. And being a second last child, I had very many big challenges in my education, with my parents taking frequent loans and selling little properties, including the animals and the land we had. Despite those hardships, I managed to complete my primary and secondary education. However, after senior 4, there was nothing more left to be sold. It seemed we had reached a dead end, and I sat home for 6 months. I was very frustrated. I hated myself. I even hated my parents. I even regretted why I was born in such a family. When my mom saw all this, she suggested that I go to my uncle's place in Nairobi, where I spent 2 years working as a house help. While in my uncle's place, I developed a strategy to win my aunt's heart, which helped me to win her favors. I loved and cared for her children. I consulted her on every activity I could do. I washed clothes, I ironed, cleaned the house, and cooked food, which eventually placed me in a position to be considered and helped. While staying with them, I was convinced to join other professions. They suggested I join police because this is where they had connections and networks. But this was not my calling, and so I declined the offer. Fortunately, Kampala International University, Uganda advertised my dream courses, which I applied for, and excitingly, I was admitted for nursing. While there at KIU, we were required to first do a bridging course for 6 months, which became a basis for my later studies, that is clinical medicine and community health.
I really thank you. This is a very good, powerful story. I think it is going to open the eyes of very many people, young and old. today we are going to continue with the crafting. So we are going to be adding in your story photos and the videos and the music. So it is going to be so good.
Yes.
Yeah, so growing up in a humble background and facing challenges attaining your education, which image comes into your mind?
Maybe a homestead, a local homestead.
Local homestead.
Yeah, you can get a picture of the gate and the darkness.
That would be so artistic. Picture of the gate. So should we bring in the excitement here, to like transition from village setting to
another urban setting? Notice, can we get a bridge?
We get a bridge.
Because a bridge can make you cross to the other side. But maybe by the end we can bring back the other tunnel, showing the light now. What we think is impossible can be possible.
Then we're introducing the light.
Yes.
When
The
you
KIU
get an opportunity
advertises.
to apply to KIU. Let's do that one. Okay. Can make a very good movie director. Tomorrow, we are going to have an opportunity of sharing your story. How do you feel about it?
I have no problem with that,
You have no
because that
problem
was
with
the main reason why I had to come up and talk about my story. It might help one or two persons to also achieve in their life. I know so many young people are undergoing those tough moments. Yeah, and I want to bring it clearly that the way has never been easy.
So this morning we are going to watch a story that is shared by somebody who has a dream, and she's sharing her experience of how she navigated through the different valleys and mountains to be able to achieve her dream. So, determined to succeed.
I worked extremely very hard, and I was determined to pass and finish my course because I knew where I was coming from. I joined serious group discussions where I was encouraged by one influential friend who later became my boyfriend and currently my husband. I was very bold to tell my boyfriend that we delay having sex, thus avoid unwanted pregnancy in the course of our studies. To be sure he was a serious person, I requested him to introduce me to his parents. He was a bit surprised, but later he did it. I was lucky to get a job with a mission hospital through the support of my fiancé. It is from their payment that I supported me to clear the outstanding school fees back at the university, but also it contributed to the process of our wedding. I am now working as an in-charge in one of the health centers at Ritz. At the same time, I'm a nutrition focal person in Vishenyi district. I must say that I am happily married to this influential gentleman, and we are blessed with 5 children, both girls and boys. Brothers and sisters, be bold, be courageous, be determined, be focused, and above all, be God-fearing people. Remember, what we think is impossible can be possible.
Before we move into the discussion, I want us to give ourselves an opportunity to share with a neighbor next to you.
One thing that I have learned from this story is that this lady was so God-fearing. She was committed.
She was determined.
She was determined for everything. Like,
Thinking of going to join the police, the army, and whatever.
She didn't want anything to put her off track.
Yeah, she didn't really want anything to put an obstacle on her when she was really determined to reach where she was going. Yeah.
So, at this point, I'd like to ask you, how did watching that story make you feel? Yes?
Okay, thank you. From this story, I felt so touched they sold everything so that this lady can get to senior 4. It's like I'm one of them because I've been in such an incident. But the other thing I learned is that if you're given a chance, you maximize it.
Good. So when you're given an opportunity, maximize.
There are 2 lessons I've got from this story. One is, as ladies, okay, me as a lady, I should be principled.
You should be principled.
Yeah. Like that comes from what you want and what you want to achieve. Then the other lesson I've got is social capital.
Social capital.
The way they support you, it is very, very important.
Many of girls, I think there are few, can stand up and say, you're my boyfriend, according to my background, please, I'm kind of requesting, we shouldn't have sex in our relationship, that I can achieve my dream. There are very few can do that. And us boys, we are very few who can.
I like that.
Can recognize that. We are very few can recognize that request.
Yeah.
So
what are you telling the young men now?
So you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're always in the room, cleaning, doing what, of which it may not take you anywhere.
Yeah.
You find getting retakes.
So when you have a dream, stick to the dream. And young men, please honor the request. Yes, please.
I may say I'm going through the same situation. And I thank her she didn't fall for other traps. Girls, we are here. I'm part of the girls. I cannot say girls. We, the girls, we fall into traps. And you end up missing out. Stand in, be firm. It's hard and it's difficult. And there are many temptations, but there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Good. There is always light at the end of the tunnel.
As a man, and I think a lesson worth sharing to the other men, we should be very understanding.
Okay.
Have
you heard Robbins and Manasseh?
We should be very understanding. I loved it when the man, the husband to the lady in the video, when he was able to understand the lady's nature, the background, and the goals, the dream of the woman.
I felt so emotional and inspired by this lady because she was so hardworking. She didn't disguise any work. She was so confident, and above all, she knew God, and nothing is impossible with God.
Nothing is impossible with God. Thank you very much, Letitia. Yes?
I've learned that any situation I am in, I'm not always alone. Every other person is facing it, and I've gained hope and courage that at a certain moment, I will also achieve my dreams.
Good, thank you very much. Thank you. This morning, we are glad that Nancy is here with us. I don't know whether she has something to share with us.
You know, as you were discussing, I became a little more emotional, but I want to be strong because I've always been strong.
Yes.
I am this strong woman.
Yes.
I'm very proud that my story has touched many. We think that the path is smooth. It has never been smooth. Even those who come from rich families, they have their stories. Please go out and inspire. Go out and share a lot of these stories. It can help someone somewhere. Thank you so much. I didn't know how it was going to be, but today, after sharing my story with many people, the participants, after their discussion, I feel I'm a changed person. I even feel that, yes, I went through that, but I overcame it.
Many times it's the ladies who are more vocal about their feelings and, you know, connecting with the stories. But seeing gentlemen in the room, the male students speak and speak from a genuine part of their lives, that was also a good thing.
So whoever is in a position of adopting this methodology, they should not wait because it is very helpful.
Now, hopefully that she has shared, it might bring a difference in their lives. Those moments of joy, I have succeeded, I have achieved my mission for sharing this story.
They remain focused, they will achieve their dream. They need to keep praying, they need to keep pressing. It's never too late. Keep on keeping on until you achieve your goal. So today I feel a different person.